Coming up on Carolina Week, gas prices climbing after the U.S. struck Iran, how the war abroad is impacting us here at home. Several employees from this Chapel Hill nightclub are now facing charges after a deadly car crash. The latest details on the investigation. And out-of-state students are bracing for tuition increases.
Honestly, $10,000 is a lot of money.
From the UNC Hussman School of Journalism and Media, connecting Carolina's campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Good morning and welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm Catherine DeHart.
And I'm Madeline Amati. This morning we begin with reporting of a potential recount from last night's election. We're talking about the District 4 congressional election, a Democratic primary between incumbent Valerie Foushee and Durham County Commissioner Vice Chair Nida Alum. Now, Alum's campaign just sent out a message to supporters about an hour ago saying that the race is not over.
Yeah, last night's primary election results show incumbent Democrat Valerie Foushee winning by just over 1,000 votes. As of this morning, Foushee has 49.18% of the vote and Alum has 48.22% of the vote. Clearly, those are razor-thin margins.
That's right. This was her watch party last night, where supporters closely monitored results that eventually led to hugs and tears for some. Ballots cast without verified IDs are still being counted. But if the margin between Foushee and Alum stays under 1%, can call for a recount according to state law.
Tomorrow, we get back to work.
Foushee, on the other hand, has already released a statement claiming victory, which said in part, "Serving this district in Congress is my highest honor, and I am deeply humbled to have the opportunity to represent this district for another term."
Yeah, but there were also primary races in Orange County, which were all decided definitively last night. No recounts. Karen Stegman, a former Chapel Hill City Council member, won the at-large commissioner's seat, beating Adam Beeman, who used to serve on the county's planning board. Incumbent Jamzetta Bedford kept her District 1 County Commissioner position, but she was challenged by Maria Palmer, a former Chapel Hill Council member. As for the Orange County Sheriff's race, the incumbent Charles Blackwood also defended his title from challenger David Labar, the Director of Planning and Development at the Durham County Sheriff's Office.
Since no Republicans are running in these races in the general election in November, these primary wins guarantee them the seats. All right, now let's take our news abroad. Experts at UNC reacting to the war in Iran. They say this moment stands out from past conflicts between Iran and the U.S. Dr. Navin Bapat is the chair of the Political Science Department. He says the U.S. has indirectly clashed with Iran before, but this past weekend's strikes go much further. Ambassador Barbara Stevenson says what might happen next will likely depend on how other countries in the region respond. Bobbitt says if more countries get involved, the U.S. will likely need to increase the number of troops it has in the region. As of today, 6 U.S. soldiers have died in the war.
Right now, the 21-mile-wide strait in Iran, where more than 20% of the entire world's oil supply passes through each year, is blocked. As a result, gas prices are rising across the country and the globe. Now, Bapat also says that because the oil market is so connected across the world, gas prices are really impacted by changes to the oil supply anywhere. And experts say the war's impact on gas prices will largely influence how Americans see the war abroad. Data from AAA shows that the average price of a gallon of gas in North Carolina is up by more than 17 cents over the past week. Right now, the average gallon of gas in the Durham-Chapel Hill area costs about $2.99. Now, it's unclear what happens next with the war in Iran, and some say there's a price to that.
What we're really seeing are going to be the economic shocks of uncertainty.
We could also see another impact on gas prices given the instability in Venezuela, which has one of the world's largest oil reserves. Now, President Trump says U.S. intervention in Venezuela would stimulate the Venezuelan oil market in a way that would benefit the United States. It's a push he's made since the capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro in January. And as Aaliyah Mitchell reports, it's a moment that has left many in the Venezuelan community here in North Carolina feeling a state of uncertainty.
Well, I think I'm doing well.
These days, UNC senior Miguel Rodriguez isn't stressed about homework or exams, but what's happening back home.
And we were immediately trying to get in touch with our family back home to make sure that they were fine.
Rodriguez left Venezuela when he was 14 and is now seeking political asylum in the U.S.
A lot of people didn't know what was going on at that time. So it was us outside informing them inside.
Just after 2 a.m. on January 3rd, U.S. airstrikes hit military sites around Caracas. Hours later, the U.S. flew President Nicolas Maduro and First Lady Celia Flores to New York to face drug trafficking, conspiracy charges. They pleaded not guilty.
There was a lot of emotions. You don't know how to process it. Like, you were happy, you were concerned, but at the same time, you're shocked.
Emotions on emotions. And Rodriguez isn't alone. More than 18,000 Venezuelans live in North Carolina. And for many, home starts with food. In Cary, that connection has a name, Comagocho, a Venezuelan food truck run by Caterina Ortiz.
Y cuando está listo, ahí tengo un sistema que lo llamo.
After Maduro's capture, many customers asked her,
¿Por qué no abriste?
why didn't you open?
¿Cómo celebramos?
How do we celebrate?
Realmente cómo celebran.
We really celebrate by eating Venezuelan food
Venezolana,
and going to places other Venezuelans hang out. But celebration lives next to caution. When customers ask about returning, she uses a metaphor.
Es como cuando tú
It's like when you step
pisas
on an
un
ant
pan
pile.
de
They get all defensive and want to bite you. That uncertainty is about the transition of power as well. Former U.S. Ambassador Patrick Duddy pinpoints a source of anxiety.
What has sharpened the concern of some was the Trump administration's decision to work with Delcy Rodriguez as the acting president.
Inside Venezuela, the same system that surrounded Maduro is still there, and Duddy warns this is just the start.
This is not the beginning of the end. This is not even the end of the beginning. We are in early days still.
For now, Venezuelans in North Carolina are left wondering whether what comes next could open the door to return home or shut it further. In North Carolina, I'm Aaliyah Mitchell reporting.
While Venezuelans in North Carolina try to make sense of what will come next for their country, the Trump administration says they're keeping a close eye on Rodriguez.
It's time to transition to some news here at home. 4 employees at Still Life nightclub are facing charges following a deadly crash that killed 2 Fort Bragg soldiers. The club is on Franklin Street above Sutton's drugstore. The state alcohol law enforcement agency brought the charges against the bar. 3 employees are accused of serving alcohol to underage customers. A 4th is charged with failing to properly supervise the bar. ALE began investigating a crash in Harnett County in mid-February. State Highway Patrol says a car carrying 3 soldiers crashed head-on into a truck. 2 of the soldiers died along with the truck driver. The 3rd was seriously hurt. ALE says the hurt soldier was just 20 years old, and all 3 soldiers had been served alcohol at Still Life before the crash. This is not the first time the club has been investigated for alcohol violations. In 2024, 2 employees were charged with serving underage customers in connection with the deadly crash that killed UNC student Molly Rotunda. We reached out to Still Life for comment, but have not heard back. The state ABC commission will now review the case and decide whether the club could face fines or lose its liquor permits. In local news, Chapel Hill Carrboro City School Board is considering closing some elementary schools as enrollment continues to decline. Student numbers have dropped in recent years, according to data from Chapel Hill Carrboro City Schools. Some schools in the district now have empty classrooms. Chief Communications Officer Andy Jenks says the district is looking at whether merging schools would help cut costs and better use district resources. Jenks warns if the trend continues, the district's enrollment could fall from over 12,000 to less than 10,000 students.
If birth rates were down 6 years ago, that's why we're starting to see it now as kindergartners or first graders. And that is a nationwide issue that school districts are starting to deal with.
Jenks told Carolina Week that no final decisions have been made and that community input will help guide the board's next steps.
As we reported last week, the UNC Board of Governors approved a tuition increase at UNC Chapel Hill. Out-of-state tuition at UNC Chapel Hill is now going up by more than $4,000 next school year. Some students and families say this move will bring financial strain.
If I was paying my own tuition without the help of my parents, I don't even know, I think I'd be able to afford that increase.
Megan Smith is an out-of-state student. She worries that UNC's decision to raise out-of-state tuition by 10% next year is something she may not be able to pay, even with her family's help.
My husband and I budget every year, so we feel like this is going to be impossible, and we're going to feel like we're going to be priced out.
Rising costs and rising demands in academics, housing, and campus resources.
We have wrung the costs out from our end of things rather than turning to students and their families first.
While most UNC system leaders defend the decision as necessary to keep campus programs, not everyone agrees.
We do a better job fixing our overhead, not increasing our overhead proportionally, then we may have less need for a tuition increase.
While out-of-state students and families face higher costs next year, in-state tuition for incoming students will face a smaller increase of about $200 a year.
It's really stressful. I'm thinking about the money all the time.
The university says it will review aid options and launch a new financial literacy plan to help students manage higher costs.
Thank you, Champ Lyerly. Now, the tuition increase for out-of-state students will go into effect next tuition cycle. UNC Chapel Hill's Director of Scholarships and Financial Aid says that any student who's worried about next year's costs should apply for financial aid right now to make sure they meet the deadline. And when we come back, inside, a Carbarosa restaurant's decision to close.
And why the chancellor decided to scrap a controversial policy.
Do you want a new clip?
Welcome back to Carolina Week.
Madeline, the weather is just so beautiful today, and I'm so ready for spring. Let's turn it over to our meteorologist, Liam O'Donnell.
Thank you. Yes, it's certainly going to feel like spring out today and for the next few days. For today, we're going to be getting around a high this afternoon, around 73, 74 degrees, excuse me, and that's because we're going to be seeing this high pressure system sit up off our coast. Now, high pressure systems come with sinking air and clockwise rotation. Now, this clockwise rotation is what's going to bring us that warmth. It's going to bring all this Gulf of Mexico air, warm tropical air, bringing it right up into North Carolina, bringing that warm air, and that's why we're going to be seeing this warm air, these 80 degrees, spring, almost summer-like weather over the next few days. And we'll see that in our 5-day forecast. Wednesday into Thursday, a little bit on the cooler side, but and our overnight temperatures still reflecting those cooling overnight. Friday is probably going to be our warmest day of this week, but those warmer temperatures will continue to stay well into the weekend and even a little bit into next week. Might want to keep an eye out for a little bit of an afternoon sprinkle here or there. It's getting so warm that we might be seeing some convective-like afternoon showers, and that's why we have those small, slight rain chances this weekend. So keep an eye out for those, but overall a great sunny, overall really, really nice week coming up, especially on the weekend. We're great to go outside, go for a walk, ride a bike, or just play some basketball and enjoy this nice spring weather we're going to be seeing.
Thank you, Liam. Chancellor Lee Roberts announced that the university's class recording policy is scrapped. The policy would have allowed UNC administrators to record classes without professor consent.
So I've talked to the provost and to the faculty chair about it. We're going to scrap it. And
Announcement received applause from faculty across the room. Roberts says he decided to scrap the policy because the number of professors nervous about the policy far outweighed the policy's benefit. Then, later in the meeting, Faculty Chair Beth Morocco and Vice Provost for Faculty Affairs Giselle Corby said the university is creating a task force to implement the public syllabi policy by next fall. Now, this task force will draft the official policy and help design the online platform where all the public class syllabi will live. Responding to some faculty concerns about privacy, Professor Corby says she's listening to professors, but, quote, this is where we are now.
Define as a syllabus has shifted and changed, and we need to make sure that we're defining it and responsive to the system.
All right, let's take it to our neighboring town. A Carrboro restaurant is closing next week after 6 years in business. Luna Rotisserie and Tap Room in Carrboro, known for its South American and Southern cuisine, will close this coming Sunday. According to the co-owner and general manager of the Carrboro location, Anthony Koffler, the restaurant is closing due to financial issues. The Carrboro spot opened at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. Koffler says they received lots of community support with takeout during COVID and partnerships with local schools and universities, but unsteady lunch traffic ultimately hurt the business. Though the decision to close has been hard, Koffler says he's grateful for all the support Luna has received over the years.
It helped, but it also made it a little harder as well to know that, so many people really enjoyed our gluten-free and vegetarian and vegan options.
Let's bring it back to campus. It's time to talk sports. Our reporter, Kate McCullough, has a fun one for us about this weekend's Carolina-Duke game.
UNC beat Duke by just one shot at the Dean Dome on February 7th, a Seth Trimble 3 that Tar Heels won't be forgetting anytime soon. So how are the Tar Heels feeling headed into round 2? What is your confidence level heading into the Duke versus UNC game on Saturday from 1 to 10?
I'm feeling pretty confident. I feel like a 7. Coming off a win, some momentum, maybe like a 7.
10. Oh, 10. Low-key, if Caleb plays like an 8.
Will you guys be going to the game in Durham, or are you going to be watching here in Chapel Hill?
I'll be watching here.
Yeah, definitely watching here. Probably watch at Bob's.
No, but I'll be ready to rush.
I'll be here.
Oh yeah, we'll be with our whole suite.
Duke students sleep outside Cameron to get tickets to the game.
Mhm.
Is that something you guys would ever do if you were asked to sleep outside the Dean Dome?
100%. In a heartbeat.
I think it's a shame. No, that's pathetic.
Probably not. I like air conditioning.
Caleb Wilson's return has everyone talking. He may or may not be playing. Does that make you less confident going into this game?
No. As far as emotional investment though, I'm still getting hyped for the Duke game regardless.
If Caleb Wilson doesn't come back, who do you think will be the breakout star player off the bench?
Off the bench, low-key Powell.
Powell was
I
good
love watching when he gets hot. Like last night, he had 3 threes in a row.
I think it's gonna be Derek Dixon. He's gonna be bringing the ball up. There's gonna be a lot of pressure with the Cameron Crazies.
We took the W last time, so we could do it again.
The rivalry always delivers.
UNC students are fairly confident heading into the men's basketball game, UNC versus Duke, this Saturday in Durham at Cameron Indoor Stadium. We'll see if the Heels can do it again. I'm Kate McCullough reporting.
Thanks, Kate. And our Reed Weichel has more on Carolina athletics.
Spring sports are in full bloom. Coming up, I'll discuss the men's basketball game against Clemson last night. It may have been senior night, but it was a newcomer who stole the show. All that and more.
Hey y'all, I've decided to quit vaping. I feel so trash right now. Like, I really need my vape. Yeah, I literally cannot sleep. Like, I hope this is worth it. I can't. I know quitting is worth it. 'Cause I'm worth it.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. Our Sports Extra analyst, Reed Weichel, is here to talk about what's up with Tar Heel athletics this week.
The Tar Heels got the Smith Center jumping for the last time this season, looking to keep their home record perfect as they hosted Clemson on Tuesday night. Fittingly on senior night, Seth Trimble opened the scoring for UNC with a corner three. Derek Dixon followed with a triple of his own. Clemson's physical defense made life tough in the paint and forced turnovers throughout the first half, keeping the game tight. Dixon and Luka Bogovac each knocked down threes late in the half, but a step-back jumper and then a three from Butta Johnson set Clemson into the locker room with a three-point lead. The second half was just as back and forth. Tied at 52 with over 6 minutes to play, Bogovac caught fire, drilling 3 more shots from beyond the arc, getting fired up in the process. Still, it came down to the wire. Dixon delivered UNC's final field goal in crunch time, and clutch free throws from Bogovac and Trimble sealed the win 67-63, as the Tar Heels finished 18-0 in the Smith Center this season. Stevenson corralled a season-high 10 rebounds, while Bogovac scored 20 for the first time in his career.
He was making some crazy ones. I was like, "What's he doing?" And he went in. So yeah, I mean, that was really cool to see. He's a really great shooter. He works really hard.
During halftime of the final home game at the Smith Center this season, a Tar Heel legend was honored. 5-year Tar Heel R.J. Davis was welcomed home Saturday night, becoming the 54th honored player in program history after his number 4 jersey was lifted into the rafters. Davis earned the distinction after being named the 2024 ACC Player of the Year and a consensus first-team All-American. He was joined by his parents and was presented with a poster commemorating his accomplishments. The Diamond Heels took on the Elon Phoenix Tuesday afternoon in Boshamer Stadium for their final game before ACC play. Sophomore Walker McDuffie was effective in his 3 innings on the mound, allowing just 1 hit and no runs. Fresh off his grand slam on Sunday, Jaden Nunez made his first start and scored the game's first run. Cooper Nicholson's bases-loaded single in the 8th inning brought 2 home for a comfortable 5-1 win against Elon at home. Top-ranked Carolina women's lacrosse hits the road tonight for a top 15 showdown with number 11 Clemson. The Tar Heels are a perfect 5-0, averaging 21 goals per game and outscoring opponents 105-35. Chloe Humphrey has set the pace with 24 goals and 35 points through 5 games, while Addison Patillo has provided a strong second option with 14 goals of her own. Clemson has been tough at home, setting up Carolina's biggest test yet in a matchup with early ACC implications. Opening draw is set for 6 p.m. This afternoon, softball hosts Stetson at Anderson Stadium. The Heels haven't played the Hatters since 2022, when they scored a 3-1 victory. The Heels totaled 7 strikeouts and 3 RBIs. Carolina will look to bounce back after Sunday's loss to Boston College, which ended their 17-game winning streak. First pitch is at 5 p.m. Tomorrow, men's tennis will travel down to the Queen City to face Boston College at 1. The Heels are 1-1 in ACC play, with a loss against Cal on Sunday. Rowan Jones and Anthony Wright are ACC Doubles Team of the Week. The Eagles are 0-2 in conference play, coming off a shutout loss to Virginia Tech. Tomorrow at 4, UNC Women's Tennis will host UNC Greensboro at Tuning Tennis Center. Carolina is 14-1 so far this season, coming off an ACC win against SMU. Reese Brantmeyer and Anna Fry dominated doubles 6-1. UNCG is just 1-9 overall, but they did shut out Converse in a 7-0 win. Historically, UNC is undefeated against UNCG. Make sure to tune in on Friday for more Carolina athletics as the men's basketball team is facing the Duke Blue Devils in a second heated rivalry matchup on Saturday at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Seen the new episode of Love Island?
No, we need to put it on now.
I know. I don't want to see any spoilers on Twitter.
Is that blue raz? Can I get a hit? I normally get guava ice, but this is hitting.
I'm gonna go outside and get some air.
Welcome back to Carolina Week.
Now, the Chapel of the Cross will host its annual yard sale this weekend. The church is next to the Moorhead Planetarium, and the Attic, Basement, and Closet, or ABC, sale will run from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday. The sale will have clothes, accessories, linens, furniture, kitchen appliances, toys, you name it. The church is taking donations through Friday. Now, the church also says the sale is helping people trying to keep up with the increased cost of living. The ABC sale will have a free shopping hour for people who have recently experienced homelessness, and the church will donate proceeds from the local sale to local nonprofits, including Orange County's Habitat for Humanity.
I also think, like my kids, they prefer to go thrift and find something that is old, something from a different generation, and it's more environmental. Instead of buying new things, we want to promote recycling and repurposing.
The yard sale is open to everybody and will also sell plants and baked goods starting in the afternoon.
Sounds like you can get a little bit of anything there at that sale. All right, well, me and Catherine are going to round us out with one more story today.
Madeline, I think you mean Catherine and I. Honestly, it's a really easy mistake, but one we have to fix because today is National Grammar Day. Now, former President George Bush first recognized the holiday in 2008, and in a letter supporting the day, he said, on March 4th to speak well, write well, and help others do the same. That might be grammatically correct, but it is a mouthful. Madeline, you know I can be a little bit nitpicky when it comes to grammar.
I sure do.
But do you have any pet peeves?
Do I?
Yes.
When people say irregardless.
Yeah, it's just regardless.
Just regardless. And regardless of where you are tuning into Carolina Week, you can find us right back here next Wednesday.
Thank you for watching.